Okay, so here's our finished mask. This is the front side. And when I do the ties, I turn it to the back side first. I take my tie and fold it in half and make a crease. Then I open it up. And here's our crease line right there. And I'm going to put it in the center and clip it in place. Now this is uneven because that's just the nature of the beast. So what I do with these little clips, I put them right up to the fold line, and then I check to make sure I can't see any stitches. And the advantage of that is if when you do the top stitching on the other side, your back side is already secure, so if you're not quite on the tape, it's not going to matter. I put the left edge of my J-foot right up against the fold, and I'm starting just about a stitch before the actual mask. And I'm going to stitch just across the seam line. So we're going to go from the top of the mask to the bottom of the mask. Okay, so that's secured it to the mask. Now I'm going to fold this down. You can see when we have it up, there's no stitching there to be seen. And I'm going to trim this close and even it up. And now we fold it over to the other side. And I've gotten so I just pin this part in place. And I'm going to do the top stitching from the right side. So this is going to have the pretty stitching, and it doesn't matter to me what it looks like on the back. So there's the top side. I come all the way to the end, and on your J foot you have a little mark in the center. So I just put the edge where that center is. I think that's about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to do a back stitch across first. And then I come forward almost to the very end. Yep, a little bit too far. And turn it. And that should line up so you're right about where that 1/8 inch is. And I'm going to just sew 1/8 of an inch in all the way down until we get, well, the whole way actually. So we're getting closer to the actual mask. I'm going to make sure everything is lined up. In my head, I'm singing Zippity Doo Dah. Just so you'll have that song in your mind now. Okay, now as I get closer to the mask area, I want to make sure this part is going to be pinched together. It's not good with all my fingers in the way. But I want this to line up a little bit, so I'm going to do it a little bit slower as I get here. Now we're going to go across the mask, top stitching, and I'm keeping it tight here right at the edge. Okay, now all we have to do is zip across the rest of it. Zippity-A. And then when you get to the bottom, you are going to go almost to the very end. One more stitch, and then when you turn it, it's just about at the 1/8 inch mark. So go across and back up. Okay, now I'm going to just trim this a little bit. And I have devised this method as the easiest for me for finishing the ends. I did 4 or 5 other things before, and I just find this to be the easiest. So there's our top stitching there. It got caught on the back side, and that's our tie done, except for trimming off these excess threads. Ta-da! Stop.